Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Huts Gaming ACC League. I got it right for once. Set a course of competizione. Round 2 of Season 5 at the Nürburgring. In a few short days we'll be having a race at the full Nordschleife Nürburgring, but that's more of a exhibition race. It's non-championship. This is a proper race at the GP Strecke. Well, mostly. There's the chicane up here. If you can see the mouse, yes you can. The chicane before the final corner onto the main straight. That is, in Formula 1, much more of a harder turn. Here it's a lot smoother. We're in the dying moments of practice. Got some drivers still on the track, completing their final laps, more than likely. And I'm tired again for some reason. Long day. Someone's dropped out already. 3 cars left on the track, including the Audi R8 of Angel Jovanovski. 213 is Miha Roska in the Porsche, and the 51 is Bolf Ramschild in the Honda NSX GT3. Ooh, going a bit slideways. This is a GT car, mate, not a drift car. Currently P15 in the practice session. Roska, 4.9 seconds adrift, and decides to cut into the pits. What about the number 51? 1.8 seconds behind P12. Can he improve? No. And if he did, I didn't see. Because we have instantly gone into... what's it called? Thingamajig. Number 222 was the first car out on track. Now, I'm going to try something different. Is that going to work? Yes! Right, which one is the one I want? I have downloaded Assetto Corsa race control. Unfortunately, it's the sort of thing that works better if you have more than one monitor, so you're probably going to hear me doing a lot of hitting the, what's it called? What's the word? The Windows key, or something, to get to the proper window. Oh, why have I suddenly become so tired? Oh my god. Didn't exactly wake up at a late time. I mean, I didn't get a huge amount of sleep last night, but I don't know. Weird. Just check this out. Yeah, that sounds good. So, Ferry Schroeder. This seems like a familiar name. Won a few races in the previous season. I do think so, at least. Maybe I've got my names wrong. There's a chicane. You can see the F1 chicane just behind, but this is the GT chicane it's just gone through. And Schroeder becomes the first driver to start a flying lap here at the Nürburgring, with 13 minutes of the session remaining. Deep on into turn 1, taking the wide exit as you always kind of need to do. Keep on the track, don't invalidate. Actually use a basic HUD. It's gone red. I'm not sure if that is an invalidation or not. There's a car behind, the 223, which is Vojinovic in the BMW, who would have won last week's race had it not been for a penalty that he got from not serving his mandatory pit stop in the pit window. Okay. That's just how it is for everyone. Oh god. That's 3 yawns in the space of like 5 minutes. Schroeder. Not seeing any sector times. I figured out how to do that, by the way. Shift and numpad 0. Nothing to really report. Not seeing any sector times or anything, so the only way we're going to know if this is a clean lap is when he crosses the timing line. And he has just done that, and he has set a time, 1:54.5. Whereas, Vojinovic immediately goes 1 better. There we go. Bit better. Then Sobolski has gone P3. Ramshield was P4, and there's more drivers. Let's have a look, see if we can get this right. To see the times as well. Relative position? Is that it? I don't know. This is kind of difficult to use. Vojinovic, Sobolski, let's see. Who actually has a time on the board? I kind of prefer doing it the old way, if I'm being honest. No, come on, Sosna. I think he's invalidated. I can't tell. Say what now? Why should I say that? Why do I need to say that? Oh my god. Our leaders coming through again. I think Shroyd. Oh, going wide at the chicane. And Vojinovic has messed this up on the final corner. Nick Valentine. Sorry, R. Valentine, rather. He's not a synth detective, he is a race driver. One and only Lexus on the field, Paul Seal. Very nice looking Lexus. Does he have a time? No, not yet. Sobolski currently P3, Ramshield P11. Klaboch has not managed to get a time on the board. Sinok has just managed to get the time on the board himself. Has gone P5. Shlovic has gone P12. Roskar P15. Behind that, Jabber. Simmerink P6, as he's just been displaced by someone else. Possibly Radek. The camera is not staying in where I want it to. I just saw Jovanovski go from P22 up to P14. Or was it P21? Let's see. What about Klaboch? What can he do? Don't know what his times are at the minute. Let's have a look at the basic HUD. He's 8/10 down. Going into, I think this is turn 10? Not sure. Number 170, best driver on the field. Oh, as Klaboch has just messed up. Potentially run out of fuel, who knows? Who's the 170 then? Let's see. Paul Seal. I mean, he's currently position 20, so don't think you're on the right track there. I mean, I like the Lexus too, but driving a Lexus does not make him the best driver, even if it does sound glorious. Oh, there's another spin there. We just caught that. Can we catch that on a replay? Oh, yes, we can. Replay, instant replay with race control. We'll see what happened. I think he got it wrong coming out of the corner. We'll have another look at that, I think. Or can we? No, I think we've missed our chance. So Sosna is not going to get a good time. What about Sherlock Sona in that gorgeous Georgian-style McLaren? If we can keep it clean. Number 71 into the chicane. Has he overcooked it? Possibly just a little bit. Should get a time on the board. Unless he's messed it up through that final corner. Looking a little bit jagged, like he's playing with the keyboard. He does manage to get a time on the board. It's only good enough for P20 so far. Klaboch, where is he? He's coming down the final straight again. This time he should be able to get a time on the board. For you, he's the best, yeah, but for everyone else, he is just in the way, I suppose. Everyone thinks they're the best until proven otherwise. Klaboch, meanwhile, has still not managed to get a clean time on the board. Sosna's in the pitch. Abercrombie in the second Sky McLaren. We've got a car who's come to a stop. That's number 7. And back into the pits. You're new to this, but you can see this for sure. What, that Paul Seal in the number 170 is clearly the best, or something. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what the Sky McLaren can do. Not fighting, potentially not going to be fighting for anything major. Oh, gone a little bit wide. Could that invalidate his lap? Possibly. It's just gone 4 minutes to go. Chicane once again. Shifts down to second gear, possibly shifting down too much. Being very cautious with the chicane. Oh, careful not to clonk the wall. I think getting the exit of the corner wrong too. And he has not managed to get a time onto the board. So the fight continues. Valentine off the track. So first time we looked at him, he's been in the pits for in an hour basically. Schroeder has retaken provisional pole, but he's looks like he's invalidated again. Pardon me. That time is red after all. Who's next with a time that won't be invalid? Huh? That's I clicked on it. Mattison, there we go. in last week's winner in the pink Ferrari. It's just come out of the opening section through Sector 1. Valentine off track. He's causing yellow flags. If you want to watch me, do it from the garage. Helicopter cam through the... It's essentially a hairpin, isn't it? And almost about a quarter of a second up on his previous time. So he could dip into the 154s here. He's currently P7. This could move him up to P5 if he gets a good enough lap. Turbocharged V6 engine. I think it's called an F163. It's the exact engine that's in the Ferrari 499P hypercar. Oh, has he overcooked it? Yes, he has. Had to take more of a V-shaped line through the final corner, and he's lost 2/10. In fact, he's basically going to match his previous time. That is not what you want to have happen. So he's got to go for it again. And this time there's only 52 seconds of the session remaining. Meanwhile, our current provisional pole sitter is losing time on his current fast lap. And I think this is going to be his final attempt at a lap. Meaning he's probably not going to be able to defend it. Or is he? Because Vujinovic, the person in P2, is currently in the pit lane. As is Zerbin and Wolf, the second row holders. Sobolski's just started his final flying lap. He's currently P5, so he's the first person who could potentially take the fight for pole to Schroeder. Oh, Seidel has just invalidated. Mathiasen has gained time again, but this time it's not as much of an advantage as the previous lap before he threw it all away. What can he do? Can he achieve a better time? Can he get up a few more positions? I don't think he's going to be P5 anymore, as Seidel has managed to put some more space between him, as Simmering has finished in P9, Ramshield P10. This could still change if drivers behind them improve. What about Mathiasen? He's managed to gain some more time. He could still manage to get into P5, and that's a much better line. It's going to be a huge improvement. He's managed to pick up almost 0.5 of a second. He's up to P6. He has matched his time with Sobolski. Oh, damn. That is not really what you want to have happen. Sobolski, though, is improving. Not by a huge amount, but it would help solidify his current position. Let's have a look at some of the other drivers who are about to finish their laps. Sandgreen is one of them. Sherlock, I think, has just finished his. He's just started one. He's down in 17th. He has finished. Where's Sandgreen? He's up to P9. Sobolski has also managed to improve. It looks like he's going to take... Yes, indeed. He takes P4 from J. Wolf. And Metternich. I think it was Metternich. Maybe it was Simmering. Just managed to take the finish of the session. So there we go. Sosna did not manage to get a time on the board. Abercrombie was almost 10 seconds off the pace. Looked like he was not having a good time. Simmering and Ramshield have finished, so they're not getting time to the board, and Ramshield's having to spin anyway. So Schroeder on pole just ahead of Vujinovic, Zerbin, Cebulski. 1 hour race is about to begin with the mandatory pit stop and with the thingamajigs, what do you call them? Instant replays. We should be able to look back at any disasters that happen down the field. In the meantime, though, waiting for the field to ready up. Yes, indeed, a 154. I don't remember the last 3 digits, but it was definitely a 154. I think it was the only driver into the 154s. Not sure. And for a second, my eyes blurred, and it read T-54, which is a type of Russian main battle tank. Or I suppose Soviet. Poor old things are being dragged out of mothballs and thrown into the battlefields of Ukraine because Russia is running out of tanks. Those things date from just after the Second World War, so they're really kind of old. Not that anyone cares. I do think that those Russian tanks, though, they do look pretty good, even if they are not really good tanks. At least they're not being used properly. I don't know. I'm not an expert. Anyway, let's talk about racing, because we're not here to talk about tanks, even no matter how much I love them. We're here to talk about racing. We've got 50 seconds until the session is supposed to begin, but it will just be the formation lap. We have the mandatory pit stop. I don't know when the pit window is meant to be. Will race control tell me? I reckon there was contact. Oh, that's actually... that could be, I might be able to look at specific incidents with this thing. I'm not sure. I'm not going to try it just yet. It could mess things up with how things are at the minute. We'll wait until the race properly begins. Vujinovic, slow away. Apparently we've got 32 drivers on the field. Oh, looks like we have a Mustang. Dorazio is a late joiner. Position 31 in a Ford Mustang. GT3, yes indeed, there we are. The only proper American V8 GT3 now. In fact, the only proper American V8 GT3 for, I think that's currently in GT3. Could be mistaken. First time we've seen one on the field. For now though, this is where the fight is going to be at the front of the field. It will be Schroeder leading them away. Don't know what to talk about. One hour of racing. It's only going to be quite a while. I wonder how well that Ford's gonna do from position 31. I know it says 32, but that's because... What is Zerbin doing? I think he's lost some places, possibly through a spin. Car connected. Completed. Oh, that's just a log. Race start. Practice session. Race session started. Okay, so there's been no contact in the race session. It's not notified me of anything happening with Zerbin. Though it looked like Zabolski was getting pretty close. Oh, and Zerbin's getting a bit too racy. Oh, okay. What's going on with Zerbin? Something is going on with Zerbin. And he might lose out a bit here. What is going on? This is not how the field is meant to be. Everyone's racing on the formation lap. Get back into your proper positions. Come on. Time to be proper about it. Time to bunch up. And hope we don't have a dive bomb like we did a couple of seasons ago from a particular driver in a bright yellow Ferrari. We're on to the final stretch of the formation lap. We're almost ready to go here. It's green, green, green for the Nürburgring round of the GT Cup. I don't know why I just called it that, but we'll pretend that's what it's called. Hopefully we can get a clean start, and no, we do not. There's someone gone off almost immediately, and there's massive amount of debris there. Who was that? Was that Valentine? I'm not entirely sure. Lots. Oh, there's more contact. Number 1 and the 113? No, 213, possibly. Coming together. We will have a look at that start incident in just a moment. There's a 170 is yellow. The 201 is yellow. I need to see what's going on here. Lots of contact right at the beginning of that race. The race. Live timing. Let's see. What was 201? We've got, let's see. 201 was Wolf. Oh dear. Started P5. He's now practically dead last. That is not what you want to have happen. Oh, and look at the damage on the Lamborghini. That's been through quite the ringer. Not the start that any of these drivers would have wanted. Sandgreen and Simmering going side by side. Who's going to take the position or hold on to it? Sandgreen is going to hold on to it. For now, at least. Simmering taking a little bit of a look. Can he make it through the... It looks like he's going to try and make it up the inside. No, he slots in behind. He's going to wait for a little while longer. Mattison is behind Zerbin. I think that's still as the leaders are pulling away. I think we can afford to have a look at the replay of what happened at the race start. So, what happened here? Oh, look at the Sky Car going off. Massive amount of stuff. That was a completely different incident. Not sure what happened there. There was more contact. I want to see what happened with the 55. Where did he get all that damage from? It's not showing. A lot happened in the early seconds of that race. Of the race, rather. Currently Schroeder and Vujinovic separated by only 0.4 of a second. Who is going to hold on here? 55 into the pits, as to be expected with that amount of damage. He is going to be very much slower than the rest of the field. Radek up into P5. Zabolski has lost a position or two. Simmering still fighting with Sandgreen. Synog and then Seidel, who could have won last week's race had it not been for a balked strategy. Also, we got Jordan Lake, currently P12, having not been slammed off the field by what car was it? Was it a Ferrari again? I can't remember what what killed him in the last race. Oh, Ramshield thought he was getting it a bit wrong. He is getting it a bit wrong, going onto the grass a bit too much than he would probably like. More grass. Being kicked up by the tyres. Abercrombie getting it all wrong. Bentley of Hackinson. Not had a particularly good start either, nor has Brains, and of course Jesse Metternich has managed to come out of the pits, but he's on the verge of being lapped, so it's not been a very good race for our Mazda Guinea driver. Let's see, can I find the contact that occurred there? Was it here? Let's see. Oh, come on. Oh, indeed it was. There we go. That's the replay. Only 40 seconds into the race, and that was what caused Metternich's problems. And since the opening lap, it's been a fairly clean race. There's been a couple of collisions here and there. And the 93, I think, is having an issue. Where is that? Live timing again. Please find it. What happened with our friend there? Let's go back 15 seconds. Oh, he went off somewhere. Had a bit of a spin. Went onto the grass to rejoin. Not what you want to have happen, really. Just had a position change. Valentine and Jovanovski. Not sure what's going on there. Is that a damage for the Audi? Potentially, he might be about to be overtaken by Crobat, who is going up the inside. Is he going to make it stick? Not on this occasion. Valentine, still a bit racy, going up the inside of Slovik now into the final corner. Textbook move. Absolutely textbook. Very nice move. And Jovanovski now having a bit of a look. The Audi. Does he have the power? Oh, he's not got the brakes apparently. Braked a bit later than the Ferrari. Maintains 16th position. Let's see. Schultz and Wolf fighting for P23. Not really where you want to be, is it? Schroeder and Vojinovic still fighting, but the gap has actually grown a bit. So the Porsche of Schroeder a little bit safer behind than he was a few laps ago. But they still have two Ferraris chasing them down. And this Mazda Guinea could prove frustrating. Will Metternich get out of the way? I mean, he's going to have to eventually. He's going a lot slower. He's got to get out of the way now. He's not giving up the position so easily. He did use his indicators though. So he did at least get out of the way and allowed the leading pair past. At least he's let one of them past. It's Vojinovic is having a bit more difficulty, as Metternich is not fighting, it's not letting it go so easily. 3 Ferraris are actually chasing down the leaders. 4 Ferraris, and the second of the 2 Mazda Guineas. Job Sieverink. Oh, actually, it's a Dutch name, so it's not Job, it's more like Hob, I suppose. Since one of the letters of the Dutch alphabet is phlegm. Seidel, meanwhile, is right behind the Marlboro Ferrari. Very eye-catching, fetching livery. Kind of a bit of a tribute almost to the McLarens of old. Though it would probably fit better on the McLaren, wouldn't it? But it still looks good on the 296. It's one of those timeless liveries that manages to look good for most of the time, except, oddly enough, in 1995 and 96, where it just really didn't look good on those cars. You think the Red Bull amount of repetition is bad, with the livery always being the same. The Seidel getting a little bit slideways. McLaren didn't change their livery for about 15 years. That's in fact, maybe it was even more than that. Definitely the early 1980s, when they started using a variation of that Marlboro livery, and they didn't stop using it until final race of 1996. Just bonkers how long some of these liveries could go on for. John Player's Special Lotus also was a thing for a while as well. That went on from at least 1972 up until 1986. So that's 14 or so years as well. Seidel not able to make his way past the Ferrari. Messier has just got past Jordan Lake by the looks of things, if the race control is to be believed. Meanwhile, the gap in front, we just had a yellow flag somewhere. Doesn't appear to have been anything major, as it's already been cleared up. The number 1 car is in the pits, possibly due to damage. We shall have a look at the race control. There has been contact between the 201 and the number 1. We'll have a look at that. And it was this little bit of contact. Oh yeah, that wasn't the cleanest of overtakes, was it? What other incidents had we had? 10 minutes and 14 seconds. Not that long ago. Between the 4 and the 114. Let's have a look. It was this. Messier and Lake banging wheels. So that's how Messier got past Jordan Lake. They had 2 contacts actually. 7 seconds before that. So they were definitely fighting for that position quite a bit. Oh, Schroeder in trouble. Vujinovic has had a very good last lap. I think he just put in the best lap of the race so far. 154.252. Oh, Brains is just going off and pressed the wrong button. What's going on there? Yes, last lap for Schroeder, 155.0. But Vujinovic, 154.252 was his last lap. It was the best turn that anyone has managed to achieve. He managed to close the gap by about 0.6 of a second. And now he's right on the tail of the, what's it called? Porsche 911 GT3R. Flat 6 versus straight 6. 911 versus M3. Can he make the dive bomb? He's going to have a look. Oh, had to get harder onto the brakes so he didn't make contact, and he loses a bit of time, and he's practically back to where he started. It's preferable to brake too much and to avoid a collision than it is to not brake enough and force a collision. Don't want to send either driver out of the race, because then potentially Zerbin would take the position. as we're almost a quarter of the way through the race. 46 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Mathiasen has lost touch to Zerbin a little bit. Might be under threat from Radek soon enough. He's just put in a lap time 3/10 faster than his Ferrari comrade, one position ahead of him. Zabolski slightly slower than Radek. Simrik slower still. Sandgreen slightly faster. He did lose that position in the end. I think it was a clean overtake between the 23 and the 24. Let's have a look at the race control. There was no contact noted. There has been contact noted between the 42 and the 25. Let's see what happened there. It's the Mustang and Alexei Shlovik going into the chicane. Oh, D'Orazio tagging the back of the Ferrari, almost forcing him around and taking the position. I think that might well end up being a penalty. That's not what you want to have happen at all. Schroeder, last lap, 155.0. Vujinovic, last lap, 155.4. But this lap looks like it's going to be very, very good indeed. He is catching again. Very close. Almost at the position he was before he almost slammed into the back of the Porsche. We need to have a look at the lap time. Is he just looking after his tyres better, or is he finding grip somewhere that we just don't expect? Helicopter following them best it can. Across the line they go. 154.8 for Schroeder, 154.7 for Vujinovic. So very close together indeed, but Vujinovic, the faster driver that time around, almost drawing alongside through the first corner, getting mighty close through the second corner, having to back off just a little bit. He doesn't want to leave an M3-shaped dent in the rear of that Porsche. And I think he's just had to drop back just a little bit to hold on to the position. Currently, significant gaps between all of the top 7 drivers, and then there's a significant gap to top 8, to position 8, and then Sinog. Looks like he's actually catching Sandgreen here. Seidel losing a bit of touch. Looks like he's not been able to cope with the dirty air so well. And then there's more significant gaps to other drivers behind. The Ferrari looking much better than Sandgreen's McLaren. Meanwhile, the leaders, that gap still very close. Can Vujinovic do it on this lap? He's got the slipstream. He's getting closer, getting closer, getting closer. He's taking a look. He's going up the inside. Can he make it stick? No, he has to back off once again. Just wasn't able to hold it on the inside, especially at that version of the chicane. If it had been the much harder braking zone of the F1 chicane, then yeah, may have been able to do it, and he lost a bit of time on that lap. Zabolski getting closer to Radek. The white Ferrari catching the black and gold Ferrari. The gap between these two, fairly similar to the one between the leaders. That gap itself still holding strong. Well, I say holding strong, it's kind of weaker as Zabolski gets a little bit sideways through the exit of the stadium section and has lost a bit of time. Ah, listen to those V6 engines. Leaders, meanwhile, once again, still holding on. There's been more contact. The 23 and the 11. Oh, we've just missed that. I saw that happening. Sandgreen looks like he was about to get overtaken. Can we see what happened there? It's going 3 wide into the hairpin, and indeed, Sandgreen lost the position, but then immediately took it back. Synog overcooked it, went way too deep into the hairpin. Loses a ton of time. Absolutely not what you want to have happen. And now Seidel back into the game, catching Sandgreen. Apologies for having the worst timing ever. And could this be good timing here? Schroeder under massive pressure from Vojinovic. Who's going to croak here first? At the minute, Schroeder still holding on to the lead. But just about by the skin of his teeth. It's getting close. To keep an eye on the contact, race control, 175 and the A23.
The pit is now open.
Oh, pit lane has just opened at the 40-minute mark. So the 175 and the 23 was Sandgreen and Seidel having a bit of a coming together after, at the same time as Synog went off the track. Seidel now trying to fight his way past that McLaren. Adrian going to try and make that 720S, the widest McLaren in the world. Can Seidel do it? He's not having a look on this occasion. Up the road, meanwhile, Sobolski catching Radek. Let's get to a better camera angle. Getting mighty close. Who's going to take this position as the leaders are about to lap another car? Just about see them in the distance. And it looks like Vojinovic still behind Schroeder. Still mighty close if they just passed Abercrombie in the Sky McLaren. Oh, and Sobolski's got it a little bit wrong, and he loses a mountain of time in comparison to the others. And to the driver in front, there's some cars into the pit lane. Jabber and Abercrombie pitting for the damage. Schultz as well. Oh, and we've missed that. We have missed an overtake. Let's go back. We'll go back 30 seconds. See how it was. And the overtake was made into the final corner. That's how it went down. Schroeder losing the position to Vojinovic. Was he able to get close enough in turn 1? I think he just didn't have the traction. He's losing out. Managed to close up a bit, but he's now relegated to second place. And he's losing time. The BMW just much faster at this stage of the race. Now, will Schroeder attempt an undercut? Well, he's going to have to. I think his tyres do appear to be a bit worse for wear if he's going that wide at some of these corners. I think it was a very clean overtake. Let's have a look at race control again. No, there was actually some contact, minor contact. So is anyone going to come into the pits? Radek might. His tyres could be falling off the cliff. Sobolski catching. He's got the better traction by the looks of things, the better grip. Schroeder opts to stay out. So does Zerbin and Mattison, Radek and Sobolski. What about these two? Currently fighting for P5 and Radek into the pits. Sobolski, I thought, was going off the track for a moment. And Radek into the pits to change tyres. Doesn't look like he has any damage. Sandgreen into the pits as well. Sinog staying out. Oh, Metternich just overcooked it, turned in a bit too much and clonked the inside wall of the final corner. Anyone else fancy messing up some corners for me? Oh, well, there we just had a spin right there. Who is that? Sosna. What happened there? We'll go back 15 seconds. See what happened. Did he just get it all wrong? Did he overcook it? Yeah, he touched the curb. Gets thrown onto the gravel trap for his troubles and loses 2 positions for the price of 1 corner. Oh dear. There's been a couple more cars making contact. The 153 made contact with the 222. That was Schroeder on being lapped. I wonder... No, that wasn't. There was a 177 and the 93 made contact, as well as the 24 and the 170. We'll have a look at that. And Sievering got it way too deep into the hairpin. Took the position, but very dirty. In fact, wasn't even taking the position. He was lapping the guy. Guess he just didn't want to wait. Schroeder 1.3 seconds behind Vujinovic. I think he's going to have to pit. There's just gone 15 minutes of the pit window to remaining. 15 minutes to make a pit stop. Vujinovic has to pay attention to that this time around. Oh, Zerbin getting a bit sideways. Gonna lose a bit of time to Mattiasen behind. Sobolski currently P5 after Radek made his pit stop. We'll have to have a look. More contact between the 8 and the 51. Which was the 51? Oh! What happened there? Looks like the 51 got the corner all wrong, the chicane, and collected Valentine. Not what you want to have happen. Radek is currently P19. Behind him, I keep pressing the wrong buttons, or fat fingering them. Seidel behind Sandgreen. I think that's again. Can't catch a break. And Schroeder now 2.5 seconds adrift of Vujinovic. He's just lost all that time. It was a valiant attempt to hold on to the lead, but in the end I think he's going to have to make a pit stop. An undercut. But Vujinovic is going to beat it into the post. That's not the word. That's not the word. I can't remember what it is. He's the one who jumped into the pit stop gang first out of the leaders, and Schroeder is not going to be able to undercut. So he has to hope for a faster pit stop. Finish off the drink. Yeah, that's the advantage of having a third-party system. Race control. Not such a bad system, and we'll have to keep an eye on these two. Open up the basic HUD. Can we see what the pit stop time is? No, we can't. Which is not helpful. So we're going to be watching these two in the pit lane. Is Schroeder going to underfuel his car? Is he? Oh, no. It's Vujinovic who comes out first. And I think Schroeder has gone for a full stop compared to Vujinovic, who's probably gone for half fuel or something. Half tyres. And that gap is massive. Has there been any more contact Not since the prior contact between Valentine and Ramshield, who is currently leading the way. It is Mattison. Hiccuping, lovely. Drank the last of my drink a bit too fast, maybe. He's still got to make a pit stop, as does Siemerink, Sinog, and Jordan Lake. The leading four. Mattison is coming in. Siemerink. What about him? He also comes in. Sinog. What about the Marlboro Ferrari? He's going to take over the lead of the race. Most of the top 10 have not made their pit stops yet. Jordan Lake staying out. Messier staying out. Durazio staying out. Ramshield. I would imagine he's going to come in due to the damage he would have picked up from that being T-boned. He's staying out. Charlotte Sona. Kay Sosna. Casper Sosna. Oh, so Sherlock getting a bit sideways on the exit of the chicane. These guys are the last of the people, the last of the top 10 who haven't pit. Because the man in 10th position is the effective lead of the race. What's his name again? Dusan Vujinovic, a Serbian, as Sosna going for it on the inside of Sherlock. And that is a very nice move. But is he overcooking it? Yes, he has. He's just given the position back to Sherlock. Oh, and now he has to try and continue his fight with Sherlock whilst also trying to potentially defend from Vujinovic. So this is now a three-way battle, and the longer that Vujinovic is held up by these two, the more that's going to allow Schroeder to catch up. He's quite a few seconds down the road, though, and Vujinovic might be able to make a dive bomb going into the hairpin. Sosna might be able to make another look. What about Vujinovic? He's going to have to go wide, and that's going to be terrible. He's onto the grass. He's going to lose a lot of time from that. I'd call that... I'm not sure what to call that, if I'm honest. Racing incident? Being forced off track? Or was that just Vujinovic being a bit too adventurous? Regardless, he's lost 2 seconds to Schroeder behind. His tyres are going to be dirty. Of course, all he has to do is wait, but how long can he afford to do that? How hard is Schroeder going to be pushing? Well, doesn't have Sosna to deal with anymore. The red, black and gold Ferrari into the pits, which means only the Jordan style McLaren stays out. 158.0 last lap. Andy Schroeder 155.4. Of course, that difference in lap time is due to Vujinovic going off the track at the hairpin. Will Sherlock put up much more of a fight than Sosna did? Time will tell. How hard is the Jordan McLaren going to fight this? Eventually he's going to have to come into the pits anyway, and a few drivers ahead have made pit stops, as Sherlock is now running in P4. Dusan looking for any way he can to get past. Is he going to make a dive bomb? No, he takes a little bit of a look, but opts to stay behind once again. Touch of the gravel coming on the exit of the corner. Meanwhile, the 213 has had a spin. I think that's Roskar rather, having a spin, and Vujinovic side by side with the McLaren. But Sherlock, to his credit, isn't exactly willing to give up the position. Can he do it? Got so much time to... room. Not sure what's going to happen. Oh, he's going onto the grass. Losing a bit of time and breaking himself. He's going to have to take a more V-shaped line. That's going to slow him down a bit as he knocks a cone out of the into the sky for a moment. 1:58.4 is the time for Vujinovic. Schroeder 1:54.9. So Schroeder is now within 3 seconds because Vujinovic just cannot get past the number 71 Jordan McLaren. We've got more incidents, more yellow flags. I, for one, am loving this. Sherlock is not giving up any ground. He is acting as if he's driving for a win here. He knows if he's going to have to pit eventually, but he's not giving this position up easily. Credit to him. Over is Vujinovic close enough? Oh, I thought he was gonna give him a love tap up the rear, and he does give him a love tap up the rear. He had way too much traction. Oh dear. Pardon me. Vujinovic, in his frustration, has wiped out Sherlock. That is definitely going to be investigated. Let's have another look at that. So there we go. What happened? It was definitely more traction on the BMW's part. It almost looked like he wasn't even... It kind of looked like he was lagging almost. Like he thought he was in a different place. That's definitely not what you want to have happen. I can only wonder if that's possibly damaged the splitter of the BMW M3, because that gap is still coming down a little bit. But now that he's got clean air, will Vujinovic be able to stretch that gap once again? Or is he under threat? Is Schroeder going to be the faster of these two cars as they fight for the effective lead of the race? There's been more contact meanwhile. The 183 and the 25 came together. That's the Mustang and that's Crobat having a bit of a love tap. Doesn't look like it. It looks like that was all it was. I don't think that will get investigated. Let's go back to our effective leaders. So now Vujinovic, the race win is hanging on his shoulders here, and I think he may well have some damage here. He's losing time to Schroeder. The Porsche is catching, but there's traffic ahead. I wonder if that is potentially a cause of this. Abercrombie, I think that is. Yes, it is indeed. Abercrombie needs to get out of the way of the leaders. He gets onto the brakes nice and early, but Vujinovic onto the brakes earlier as he had an unfavourable line. Schroeder is going to be driving for his life here. Sinog, meanwhile, still in the lead. He's going to have to pit eventually. He's got 2 minutes and 40 seconds to do that. If he doesn't do it in that time, he's going to get a 30-second penalty like Vujinovic did in the race before in Spa. I think he's got plenty of time to do it. Can Ferry Schroeder make a dive bomb? I always say, can he do it? He's going to have a look. It's not going to be done on this occasion. Oh, I thought, was that contact? Possibly a little bit of a lag bump. We'll have a look at the race control. 349, it was not. It was not contact, it was just good braking control from Schroeder. Sherlock into the pits, having had his race practically destroyed. Schroeder getting a little bit wobbly. Oh, there's a car going off the track there. Has that thrown Vujinovic off? Hackinson going extremely wrong. And Schroeder, we're going the wrong way now. Schroeder, can he make the move? He's much closer to Vujinovic. Can he make the move? Nope, not on this occasion. Decided it wasn't worth it on this occasion. But that gap is incredibly close. Can the 911 manage to take that position from the M3? I kind of hope it does, because that M3 is not a good looking car, especially with its massive grills. I think, though, has he actually managed to gain a little bit of time? Maybe a little bit. But a little bit is all he needs. It's just a little bit more comfort room. But he's lost it through the chicane. Getting so close to the tail end of that M3. In the slipstream. I think that BMW possibly a little bit faster in a straight line. Can Schroeder take a look? Nope. He's going to have a look at the outside. Can he make it into a switchback? He's going side by side. This is the closest he's got for a while, but has not got the chance, except now he is going up the inside. Is this the move? It is indeed the move. What a maneuver that was. That was some spectacular racing, nice and clean. Vujinovic, I wonder if he was throwing the dummy or if that was just inevitable. Potentially with some damage. We're going to go back 30 seconds, see how that played out on the helicopter cam. Look at the traction that from the switchback that Schroeder had, and he switches back again. He takes the inside line through turns 2 and 3, has to get on the brakes much more for the tighter line, but does manage to stay ahead. Excellent stuff. So, can he manage to hold on? He is holding on for now. 0.6 of a second back to Vujinovic. We'll get back to these guys in a little bit. Let's see. The race control, any more contact? Yes, there has been. The 22 and the 93 at 40 minutes and 42 seconds. There are less than 20 minutes of this race remaining. We'll have a look at that race. Collision. That was between, oh, yeah, that's Klabot and Zerbin making contact. Oh, double contact. I think that was Zerbin's fault, that, in my opinion. 153 and the 93 then came together. Was that from when... Oh, that's Abercrombie and his teammate coming together. As the 53 came back onto the track. That is rather embarrassing stuff. So whilst it was Zerbin's fault for the initial collision, that is an unsafe rejoin for who is that actually? Then number 53. Not 153, the 93. Klabot, that's it. Keep saying Klabot, it's probably Klabok. Yellow flag at the chicane, that is the number 67. That's just Brains having an incident. Where is he? He's gone mega wide. We'll have a look. Go back 15 seconds. He was already off the track there. No, we can't go back even more. He just had a bit of an incident. Or as who a certain Monegasque driver would say, an incident. 1.4 seconds is the gap between Schroeder and Vujinovic. Mattison currently P3 ahead of Zerbin, probably because of that incident. Derazio has the Mustang in P11. We'll have some time with the Mustang, actually, I think. Listen to that glorious American V8. If we can hear it over the scream of the Porsches. Sounds a bit quiet. Oh, there we go. Listen to that engine sing. I love a good crossplane. Unfortunately, I don't think the crossplane's gonna be enough. Jordan Lake looks like he's getting much closer to the rear end of the Mustang. Is the writing on the wall? I do think so. Durazio did not have a good lap there. 157.2 compared to Jordan Lake's 156.2. An entire second slower. More contact between Klaboch and the number 11, Synog, this time. And just turning in without looking in his mirrors. Making contact, and then the 114 and the 51 made contact not just a few seconds ago. That's Messier and Ramshield. Oh, thought that was going to be a pit maneuver there. That was mighty close. There's still hard racing here. Messier fighting for P13 ahead of both Ramshield and Jay Wolf. Thought for a second that Ramshield was going a bit deeper on the brakes. Thought he was going to punt Messier's purple McLaren. Can he make the maneuver? He's having a look around the outside. Oh, more contact! And that's unsettled him. And that's opened the door for the Aston Martin. But the Aston Martin looks like he's letting him back past. Anything else going on the field? 114 and 51, 3 contacts in a row. So these are the same cars that we're riding on board with. And we did just see those incidents. Ramshield definitely looking a bit slower through that section, but he's had a better exit than Messier. But that's a very wide McLaren, and then thought they were both going to go off. That was mighty close. And Ramshield gets it all wrong, and that's opened the door for Wolf, and this time I don't think Wolf is going to give that position back. The Honda threw his chances away. Now he's in P15, and he's going to have to fight for his positions back if he wants any appreciable points. And we just watched Jordan Lake get past Durazio. If we go back, let's go back 30 seconds. Where were they? I know that happened a while ago. Fortunately, I can't get the replay to end when I want it to. So just get it to set. What's the word? Deal with it until the replay ends. And see how things actually are. There we go. Just ended. Gap between Schroeder and Vujinovic. Vujinovic has to have damage. As Sengerink, right behind Sabolski here, is the Mazdagini going to make a move? He's definitely having a look on the outside, but there's contact there. I think there's another car just gone off. That might have been Hackinson in the Bentley. There's definitely contact right there. Let's have a look at the race control, see how things are. 19 of the 24. The 19? When was that? 54, 147, 22. Let's have a look at that. It was, yeah, this one that we just saw. Okay, I forgot what his number was for a second. I didn't think they actually made contact. So that's my bad. 114 has made a mistake. What happened there? 114 and the 201. Was that... Has Wolf punted him off? Yes, he has! And that could be race ending. That is... No, it wasn't race ending. He's managed to get going again, but he has massive damage. to that purple McLaren. That's definitely going to be investigated after the race. Oh dear. I've lost my cursor. Where's it gone? There it is. Vujinovic has to have damage. He has lost so much time to Schroeder. I mean, 3.4 seconds, it's not a huge amount of time. But it's enough time, I think his race is over here. His chances of a win. And he could even lose P2 to Mathiasen. That's how much the gap is falling. I would not be surprised if that M3 has a broken front splitter. There's Crobat. Needs to get out of the way. And indeed he does. Is that damage on Crobat's car? No, it's just the massive air intake. It's not getting out of the way just yet. Looks like he's got good straight line speed compared to the Ferrari here. Oh, it does get out of the way eventually though. Siemering once again on the tail end of the white and gold Ferrari of Sobolski. Where's he going to be able to make it count? With 10 minutes of the race remaining, time is running out. And since it's about a 2-minute lap around here, there's about 5 laps remaining, give or take. Seemingly, I think he shifted down one too many gears there. V10 engine singing, screaming, roaring, don't know what you'd call it. Sobolski going for the inside. Siemering quite deep on the brakes, almost made contact with the Ferrari there. Having to back off for now. Someone we haven't looked at for a while was Radek. He was ahead of Sobolski at one point, but I think he's not had a good stint after his pit stop. I don't think we've had any... what's it called? Penalties, I don't think so, at least. We've lost a few drivers, we're down to 27. Jabba is one of those drivers who's gone. Abercrombie, to his credit, is still sticking it out there, even though he's dead last by quite a margin. 1 minute and 35 seconds behind Brains. The gap between Sobolski and Siemering not exactly shrinking. Siemering had a 3/10 slower lap than Sobolski did. I think did 156 exactly. Down to the thousandth. So not a bad lap for Sobolski considering the position he's in. Which is to say the massive great Mazdagini behind him. Mathiasen has not been able to catch Vujinovic. But Vujinovic is still being dropped by Schroeder. The gap 4.2 seconds at the moment. And now it's Schroeder's race to lose. Meanwhile, Valentine getting a bit racy with Angel. Reese Valentine. They're not quite a synth detective with a Bostonian accent, and that's Angel going very wide at the corner there. Almost opened the door for Reese. But these two are about to be lapped by the leader. And they're going to have to get out of the way eventually. That's Jovanovski going off the track. Valentine as well, and this is going to be a bit of a kerfuffle for Schroeder to get through, but enough of a gap has opened. And that is Schroeder through, but he's going to have definitely lost some time to Vujinovic. Gap is 3.5 seconds, so he lost about 0.8 of a second there. Meanwhile, 296 has had an incident. That is Radak. He's down to 9th. I think we just saw that happen. We go back 15 seconds. Oh, he went off onto the gravel. Oh, an unsafe rejoin almost. Almost collected Seidel and Sandgreen. Has there been more contact? As of late, the 11 and the 296. 52-52. That was literally just now, I think. Indeed it was. Oh! Oh! Big crash! Big crash indeed! And lucky not to collect the Bentley either, since that doesn't count on the collision list. Oh dear indeed. That's not what you want to have happen at all. Five minutes and 30 seconds remain. The session is drawing to its close. It's been a decent race. There's been a decent amount of action. Not as exciting as the previous round, but enough for excitement, I think, as Zerben went into the gravel again. Seemrink has to be feeling a little bit irritated now. He's lost lap 155.7. Sabolski 155.9, so he did have a faster lap, but on this occasion, I just noticed that instead of saying bronze on the back, it says idiot. Look at that next to the rain light. He's not a bronze driver. He's not platinum rated, he's not gold, he's not silver, he's not even bronze rated. He's idiot rated. Oh god. 4.5 minutes to go. And it's going to... Seemrink is definitely going to be feeling a lot more pressure to get past the Ferrari now. There's 4 minutes remaining. He's still not being able to get past. See. Race control, still no contact made since that massive collision. Oh, the 175 has just gone off. That was another collision with Klaboch. Seidel and Klaboch losing it, and oh, what was that? Seidel's race has just been destroyed because Klaboch can't drive. And now he's got to do all this work again. Unbelievable. And this is why some drivers tend to leave. Klaboch still somehow 23rd place, despite his inability to drive. But he's actually had better laps. His best lap was better than Schultz's best lap. I think Schultz might be running with some damage, because his best lap has been a 2:0. Then again, Klaboch's last lap was his fastest lap, so we're not able to exactly tell his true pace. Gap between Schroeder and Vujanovic has been restored to 4.3 seconds-ish. 4.5 seconds, give or take. There's back markers ahead, but they're not bunched up or fighting each other. Should be an easy maneuver to make. But with 2 minutes of the race remaining, this is going to be the penultimate lap. It's going to take about another minute for Schroeder to reach the finishing line, or rather the timing line. Mattison, lapping Angel. has to take a slightly wider line and opening up the door potentially for Valentine. This is just for 19th place. Valentine having a look. Ah, he squeezes his way past. Was that contact though? Oh, well, that was definitely contact. You saw it, I saw it. There was only one amount of contact. More contact between Klaboch with Dorazio. Klaboch does not seem to be using his mirrors very well, because then he made contact again just moments later. Look at that! What is that? It looks like he's trying to take him out. And then again, just now, with Seidel. What is this guy doing? I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up being a race ban for Klaboch. Meanwhile, this is the final lap of the race. Schroeder, fortunately, does not have Klaboch directly in front of him, so he doesn't stand a chance of his race being destroyed. Oh dear indeed. He's got Abercrombie in front of him, driver in last position, but look at this, this is how you get lapped. Abercrombie getting out of the way, allowing himself to be lapped not just by Schroeder, but by Abercrombie, by Reigns as well, I think. He's been lapped twice. Not been a great race for him, but I guess he's getting all the practice in he needs. Practicing in a racing environment. For Schroeder, though, he's practicing his winning face. He's just got 3 more corners to go. And then he will be our second race victor! Oh, he almost lost it there, though. 3 corners. Don't throw it away. He's losing it. He's losing it. I wonder if he's trying to celebrate. Oh, it could have still gone Vujanović's way. But there we go. He has managed to take victory ahead of Vujanović, who may well get a penalty post-race. Don't think it's going to hurt him too much, as Mattisson, not sure, might potentially lose second place to Mattisson depending on how things go. Siemerink was not able to overtake Zabolski in the end. Has to finish P6. And things are being messed up by the grid, so this is wonderful. Dorazio fighting with Sinog for P9, and look at Dorazio go! Oh, but goes off onto the grass. Is that going to hurt him? Yes, indeed it does for now. Can he hold on to the inside line? Yes, he does. It's going to be a drag race to the line. Will the Mustang score? It's going to... I'm not sure what position that's actually going to be. It says 8th. I think it was 9 that he actually got there. Because people are leaving already. Right. Oh, Klaboch got 40 seconds worth of penalties. I am not surprised. Drove like a... Dorazio did actually finish P8. So the Mustang got points from last. That is driver of the day right there. Indeed. Vujanović wasn't able to take the victory in the end. Has to settle for P2. At least he gets some points on the board. There we go. There we go indeed. Klaboch, even with 40 seconds of penalties, still looking like he is in 23rd place. Selken, Jabber, Metternich and Seal all retired. I forgot about the Lexus. So the best driver in the Yes, the best driver in the race retired 15 laps ago. That's quite a while. Good 10-20 minutes, give or take. Right, there we go. There was lots of damage for some of these drivers. Jabba, his car was practically destroyed. Who's still on the track? Jordan Lake, P12. Not had a particularly good season so far. At least this time he wasn't taken out by a rogue Ferrari. I think it was a Ferrari anyway. Was it a BMW? I don't remember. Either way, it is victory for Ferry Schroeder. Puts his name on the board ahead of Dusan Vujinovic and what's his name again? Mattison. He's already left. There we go. Well, that was our first stream with race control. It's not going to be exactly smooth sailing because I don't have an extra monitor that would make it easier to use, but in the end, this is what matters. More people leaving now. So there we go. That's the race. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Been a pleasure to commentate for you once again. And until next time, until next week, which will be, I think it's the Dutch Zandvoort. Are we going to Zandvoort? Yes, we're going to Zandvoort next week. Hopefully I will be able to stream it. But I think it's this weekend that we're going to the Nordschleife with all of the Mustangs. So until then, thank you very much for watching, everyone, and until next time, I keep repeating myself. Until next time, have a good one, and good night. No!